adofo ne etiefo mamda mu na mase enfam brad nim de nim susu sistem ahadie news emu hwam ene de brem dane de nyina nsem bebre na ekoso ewo omam hanom nsem a esese utie nsem a ekoso a eje nsem ana ye ka ho asem ewo efikasa fidie so ebra nchen mangi bre ni enkotie nsem a eye de ekoso
to this segment called Gyampo, my good friend, New Nooks. I call him New Nooks. Today he's under fire because maybe he shouldn't have said anything about the labor negotiations today. But this is a labor negotiation where Akufo-Addo at the time last year approved nearly 30% of increase in labor. And I saw Democracy Hub's Oliver Baka-Vamaho criticizing the labor unions that you're only getting 10% and you're happy about it. But today, Prof-Gyampo wrote this. President Mahama himself went to sit with labor for the base pay negotiations. This is leadership, humility, respect personified. Previously, even common ministers felt too big to sit with labor. Reset, no more gross disrespect for labor. That's what he said today. Labor have been offered 10%. Labor was offered more last year. Nobody's talking about it. That's what it is. When you propagandize into power, you are not even able to say what last year was. So Professor Gyampo reiterates, looking for something about the event. The point of that negotiation is not who came or who didn't come. Apologies to Professor Gyampo. Prof, it has nothing to do with who came or who didn't come. It has everything to do with what the labor union was offered. And Akufo-Addo offered the labor union 30% last year. Inflation has come. President Mahama has offered the labor union 10%. It is lower than what Akufo-Addo offered. But Prof-Gyampo's conclusion is President Mahama himself went to sit with labor. That's what he chooses to say. Let's see what he said yesterday. Oh, where is it? I come.
Dear Ghanaian workers, I'm telling you, in the negotiation of base pay, rethink the caliber of people you send to go negotiate for your interest. Because some of the people, if you allow them to continue to lead you, they would remain rich and you remain poor. Dear Ghanaian workers, I'm telling you, in the negotiation of base pay, rethink the caliber of people you send to go negotiate for your interest. Because some of the people, if you allow them to continue to lead you, they would remain rich and you remain poor. Dear Ghanaian workers, I'm telling you, in the negotiation of base pay, rethink the caliber of people you send to go negotiate for your interest. Because some of the people, if you allow them to continue to lead you, they would remain rich and you remain poor.
This is Professor Gyampo, who was almost suggesting that labor union leaders have been bribed. That's what he was saying. That those who go and negotiate. He was talking about how they should negotiate for more. This was 30% given. Austin Gamey then said that 30% was not even good enough. Today, labor union is getting 10% from John Dramani Mahama. And this is Austin Gamey. Austin Gamey describes 30% increase in public sector base pay as reasonably adequate. Then what does he say of 10%? Please, you have it, put it down very quickly. Let's see. He said something about the 10%. Austin Gamey again is going to come very soon. Austin Gamey said 30% is reasonably okay. When it's 10%, Austin Gamey said today that 10% is too high. That President Mahama has done too well. 10%, 30%, and 10%. I don't understand. Do they think that people, no, Austin Gamey, I sent you Austin Gamey. He said 10%, please get it for me. Prof-Gyampo says President Mahama himself went to sit with the labor. We've seen this already. Now, today, Prof-Gyampo's issue about the 10% is that President Mahama showed up. Yes, thank you, President Mahama. I think it's a good thing. Let's clap for President Mahama for leaving his job at the Jubilee House and showing up to go and negotiate with labor union only to give them 10%. What did the leaders of the labor union get to agree on the 10%? Prof-Gyampo should come and tell us. He was alleging that when Akufo-Addo was there, labor unions were collecting bribe. That's what Prof-Gyampo was alleging. They were collecting bribe to conclude a negotiation at 30%. Today, labor unions didn't take bribe and concluded a negotiation at 10%. And Prof-Gyampo says President Mahama showed up. So that is good. Why must President Mahama show up? President Mahama must do his work as president. He's supposed to give the labor unions and the labor people a very heartfelt reward for the work that they've done for Ghana. 10% is woefully inadequate. 30% we said was inadequate. 10% is good. Austin Gamey said that 10% is too much. Can you imagine that? Watch Prof-Gyampo again. He was alleging against labor leaders that they have taken bribe to accept 30%. Have a look at it.
Telling you, in the negotiation of base pay, rethink the caliber of people you send to go negotiate for your interest, because some of the people, if you allow them to continue to lead you, they would remain rich and you remain poor. Dear Ghanaian workers, I'm telling you, in the negotiation of base pay, rethink the caliber of people you send to go negotiate for your interest, because some of the people, if you allow them to continue to lead you, they would remain rich and you remain poor.
Said if you allow them to lead you, they will remain rich and you remain poor. He was alleging that labor union leaders have taken bribes from Akufo-Addo to agree on 30%. Today, labor union got 10%. 10, not 30, 10. And they haven't taken bribe. Today, the response is, oh, President Mahama is great. He himself went to the... Why is President Mahama? Professor Gyampo is a professor. He understands systems. He knows that President Mahama need not be there. If the negotiations go well and labor get what they want, President Mahama need not be there. Should President Mahama be jumping from negotiation meetings with labor union, negotiation meeting with CLOSAC, negotiating meeting with teacher union, negotiating meeting with nurse union, negotiating meeting with doctor union? Our president, elected under Article 58, should not do that. Here's Austin Gamey. Labor consultant Austin Gamey has described government's recent approval of 10% wage increase for public sector workers as excessive, warning that it could exacerbate inflationary pressure. This is the kind of thing we see here. Civil society, hypocrisy. This is the hypocrisy we see. 10% is too much. 30% is only good. 10% is too much. If it's President Mahama, he shouldn't do too much to affect the economy. If it's President Akufo-Addo, even if he does 100%, it's not good. Hypocrisy is this. This is total hypocrisy, and we should abhor it. Prof-Gyampo, my friend, and Austin Gamey, they should stop that. Do your work and let's see what happens. Don't try hard to make something black gold. Black is not gold, gold is not black. Orange is not yellow, yellow is not orange. Yellow is yellow, orange is orange. Austin Gamey says that the 10% is too much. He thinks we've forgotten what he said about the 30%. That 30% was only reasonable. Oh, it's reasonably good. Oh, it's just reasonable. He hasn't done it. It's just reasonable. 10% is too much. What kind of what hypocrisy is this? Total hypocrisy. I've never seen some before. What is this? Austin Gamey describes 30% increase in public sector base as reasonably adequate. Then put a 10% there. Austin Gamey says 10% is excessive. What? Even class 9-year-old person will look at this and say, who is Austin Gamey? What is this? This is how we run our politics in Ghana. This is it. We are ready for it. Everyone should be ready for it. Because I like what the lady said on Joy, that the democracy has now arrived. We will not allow the government to do anything they want with our power. The democracy has now arrived. Akufo-Addo does 30%. It's not good. John Mahama does 10%. It's too big. Austin Gamey, labor authority on labor all over the world. He's known. Austin Gamey, because he's an NDC man. Oh, he hasn't said he's not an NDC man. He's a former minister. I have interviewed him as a minister before. He was a minister for labor, so I know him. Because he's an NDC, Rollins didn't like him. I have a story. I won't say it today. He knows I know why Rollins didn't like him. Rollins told me. Austin Gamey, he says that 10% of John Mahama's labor wage increase is excessive. Labor, have you heard? Austin Gamey says musika na edamamo edosu too much. Akufo-Addo gave you 30%. Austin Gamey says it's just reasonable. Prof-Gyampo says that labor unions have been bribed by Akufo-Addo to accept 30%. But 10% is good because John Mahama showed up for the meeting. Oh, new nooks. You are a professor of political science. Why? 10% is good because John Mahama showed up for a meeting. That's all. 30% is bad because it is too low. 10% lower than 30% is good because the president showed up for the meeting. We don't want our presidents to be showing up for labor union negotiations. That's not what Article 58 said they should do. Article 58 said the executive authority of Ghana shall vest in the president. He's supposed to demonstrate it. Must he be jumping from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to show that what? He's humble. That's what we want as Ghanaians. Okay, let's have it. President Mahama should not attend any such meeting anymore. He must give firm instructions and the instructions be carried out. Why is he attending labor meetings? And Prof-Gyampo comes and says that, oh, it is nice. Anyway, that is for rethink the people you send to negotiate for your interests. Gyampo advises labor unions. He's alleging that your leaders collect bribe because they brought you 30% increase under Akufo-Addo. It's bribe they took to get you 30%. President Mahama comes and gives you 10%. That one they didn't take bribe. That one was a beautiful meeting because the president attended. 29 minutes past 10 o'clock. Let's get to the other political. What has she done wrong? What has Joyce Bauer done wrong? They make a cartoon of her that she's holding bag and that the bag is costing 1,930 pounds. Is it necessary? Is it necessary? It's not necessary. If a government appointee is holding a bag, so what? People come to government. Some come straight from school. Like I came straight from school to government and I became deputy minister. Fine. Another person comes straight from school. Another person from school goes to work and do something else. Politics too is work. I mean, I've always been concerned about people who say that, how can you just come from school? Yeah. It's work. It will, however, mean something, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. That comes straight from school to politics. It's not wrong. So please, Mr. Agbana, MP for Keta, it's not wrong. You haven't done anything wrong. Straight from political science to parliament, you haven't done anything wrong. It has consequences. It has ramifications. That's all. But you haven't done anything wrong. Then I saw, why I'm doing this is that I was just laughing and giggling about it. I saw the MPA boss, Edwidji Tamaklo, write out a full script about why Joyce Bauer is qualified to have a bag because she has been practicing law. And then I cringed. I said, this guy, is he serious? The people you've been talking about, have you forgotten what their credentials are? What are you talking about? Joyce Bauer today has been practicing law. Why? Are we not in this country? What is he talking about? That Joyce Bauer is practicing law so she can... What is he talking about? Joyce Bauer of yesterday is this. And Joyce Bauer of today is this. She was practicing the law before the yesterday. Joyce Bauer has been practicing law for 20 years before 2018 and 19 and 21 and 22 and 23. She has been practicing the law for 20 years before then. That was this. Today she comes into government because she's won election. It is this. And Tamaklo is telling us that if she was practicing law, it should have showed here. It shouldn't show here. If Joyce Bauer was practicing her law and therefore she is okay to buy expensive ladies' bags, it should show here. It shouldn't show here. This is after government 1,900 pounds of bag that she was holding 2 weeks into government. 2 weeks, 1,000 pounds. So after 4 years, how much? Hallelujah. 2 weeks, 1,000 pounds Joyce Bauer. 2 weeks, 2 weeks government, 1,000 pound bag is holding. This is Joyce Bauer in opposition. Where is the 1,000 pound bag? Nobody should come and give us that. I have a story to say about declaration of assets. The assets that they declare that the constitution doesn't say we should publish. What is the point? That's for Tuesday. That's for Tuesday's coming. I'm doing a research on it out. And I'll make the point that what is this if we can't find it? But that's later. So if Joyce Bauer was declaring her assets, and please bring Joyce Bauer, let me finish. If Bauer was declaring her assets, and this bag was not in the assets, but it shows up 2 weeks after government, 2 weeks, so 14 days per 1,000 pound bag. If you were holding a 1,000 pound bag already, it's okay. When I was going to watch football at Manchester State, they said I've stolen airport money. I was able to demonstrate that in 2014, I've been at Old Trafford from long ago. So everybody kept quiet. You can't tell me that you were practicing law or you were a corporate lawyer so you could hold a bag. We can listen to that. But you have to hold that bag before the election, not after. Or you have to hold a similar one before the election, not after. If you are not holding a similar one before the election, the social media police in Kofi Nyako, Samuel Brian Boabin, they will get you on this one. They will get you because they will bring the picture. Now Joyce Bauer does video, she's not holding bag. She will speak the truth. You hold bag. Joyce Bauer, you hold bag again. You will hear it because you said Samira shouldn't hold bag. You won't hold bag. You will never hold bag between now and the end of the tenure. Otherwise go and bring this bag. This one, that's the only one we know. Go and bring it. If you take another bag, we'll tell you the cost. We'll tell you where you bought it. Selfridges, we know there. Pa. We will show you where you bought it. The democracy has come. The chickens have come home to roost. When you run a campaign like that, it will bite you in government. If you run a campaign the way you run the campaign, it is 4 years, it will bite you in government. Plenty of time. Let's watch this space. Our friend, what's his I like him so much. Support from USAID and other international agencies is being cut to Ghana because of the erstwhile MPP corruption. Dr. Safo Tanko Rashid Computer, acting CEO of GIFEC. Have mercy on us. This man is Dr. Safo Tanko Rashid Computer. He's the acting CEO of GIFEC. And he was able to say, in spite of the news on Joy FM, the news on City FM, CNN, Oman FM, To Me Radio, everybody has quoted Donald Trump's reason for abandoning USAID. And a high-profile official in Ghana has not heard it. Look at how he's embarrassing the Republic. Look, every JSS child is reading and laughing. See how he's embarrassing the Republic. This is internet era. This is gone around all over the world. People are sending it to me from America. Hey, which your minister be this? Go and look on the scoop. It's on Abisadel platform. It's on Achimota platform. It's on Presec platform. It's on St. Peter's platform. Everywhere. And the people on the platform in America, they are sending it. Hey, Ghana, why? What is happening? Who is this? Who is this one too? Then they are doing question mark. Then we are all embarrassed. What is this? I don't have anything to say. I don't have nothing to say about it.